defense of the city of Magna Bonum was a success. The orcs caught us off our guard, but not unprepared. I will not underestimate these aliens again. It is clear now that their primary push was towards the capital city, and they have moved in to attack with a speed I have rarely seen a military force capable of achieving. I have read reports of orc clans who focus on fast strikes, but I did not realize they could be so coordinated. It is as if something is driving the orcs here, some unknown desire or instinct. The Imperial Guard regiments watching over the city are decimated, and will not be resupplied for at least 24 hours. The orcs will renew their attacks far sooner. Our scouts are reporting a force massing 50 kilometers from the city that dwarfs the group that attacked Magna Bonum. And reports from civilians speak of a mighty orc who leads them. Bigger and more cunning than the rest. If the capital city falls, this planet will not be far behind. I cannot allow this to occur.
Hello once again, guys. This is us on to the 4th mission of this campaign. So we're obviously now going up against an even bigger force of orcs. So let's get into this mission.
Everything is ready, boss. Them Humies is in for a good stomping. This is gonna be the best fight of their miserable lives.
Just make sure it's the last fight of their lives.
I don't take orders from you, Humie.
We've held up our side of the bargain, have we not? You wanted a new planet to wage war on, and we have given it to you. You wanted to face the Imperium's greatest warriors, the Space Marines. They are here. We've even provided you with weapons and Imperial tanks to use on the battlefield. And all we ask in return is that you keep the Imperials distracted from our operations here.
You've kept your word, but that still don't mean you can order the orcs around.
My apologies. We've delivered the last of the weaponry. They're in the hands of your servants. We'll take our leave now. I respectfully request that you keep the Marines busy for as long as you can.
We'll keep them more than busy. We'll keep them dead.
The thought of kowtowing to these creatures disgusts me. The orcs are a tool, nothing more. And quite an effective one, I might add. Perhaps. But I dislike providing such unpredictable aliens with our own weaponry. Lord Bale, orcs are not unpredictable. Quite the contrary. You can rely on them to turn against you. But they will honor our agreement as long as we provide them with enemies to satiate their battle lust. If we intimidated them into doing our bidding, showed them our strength, they would take pause before betraying us. You cannot intimidate something that knows no fear. Trouble yourself no longer with the orcs. We will have what we came for and be gone before they finish with the Imperials and turn on us.
Why is we talking with them humies instead of fighting with them? Them smelly chaos boys is weak. Not nearly enough of a challenge for the boys. If they were strong like orcs, they wouldn't need us to fight for them. We'll take their guns and their help, and when we're done chopping up all the humies, we'll come back here and chop them up as well.
Orbital imagery shows a heavy concentration of orcs in the area. We must secure a location and establish a base before destroying the Warboss and his clan. Combine the holy fire of the whirlwinds with the jump packs of our assault marines. Cleanse this area.
Whirlwind here.
Obviously these are one of the various vehicles that we can get throughout the campaign. Now the thing about Space Marines is they use the very same tank chassis for a lot of things. So it's the Whirlwind, it's the Rhino, it's the Predator tanks, it's all the same chassis. Whereas other armies have got different means, like these orcs have got war tracks, war trucks, kind of the same idea. But you'll see this looking vehicle frequently. Maybe not in this one in particular, because I don't usually run these particular tanks, despite the fact that I do like artillery and I do like what artillery represents. But I don't usually use the Space Marine one because I don't think it's all that good, in all honesty. But it's the tools that we've been given for this specific mission, so use what we got. I do have 2 squads of assault marines here, but they're literally just going to sit here nice and sweet until they're all dead. And that's destroyed. And then we'll come over, capture this point, and then the base will get built down here. Because why waste all of our time having our Space Marines die when they don't necessarily need to? And that'll blow up. So close. 2. There we go.
Our scouts report the Warboss is in the vicinity of this location. It seems a second orc clan has gathered between us. They are heavily defended on this plateau. They
Oh,
must be eliminated to clear a path to the Warboss.
And they took them off me. That's just mean.
Yes, my lord.
Might not like them that much. Didn't think they were listening to me.
Activating jump pack.
Hey, do you fancy coming out as well?
Activating jump pack.
Right, let's get you to build that. Get you to build that. Let's get stealth for them.
What would you have me do?
Now, obviously, as we seen in the last video, you can attach these commander units to squads, except from these assault squads, because they have jump packs and they do not, so it wouldn't make any sense for them to be attached.
Take and hold.
Because they couldn't do the same kind of movements. But as as you will see through this playthrough, I do usually spend most of my time and my focus on range, which is obviously these guys.
Here to serve.
So we'll get another couple of
Build routine
these
7
down.
to 1 initiated.
For the Emperor! Direct us to the For the Emperor!
If I remember, yep, yeah, there was one around
For the
there.
Emperor! We stand ready. Marine squad deployed. For the
This whole having
Emperor!
this map like this is really throwing me off. I have
Assault
no
marines are
way.
now available to us. They can be built from the chapel barracks.
Charge! Ever vigilant. Under fire.
Oh, we've got some of them over, have we? Yes, we do. Some storm
An
boys.
open mind is like a fortress with its
Marine
gates
squad
unbarred
deployed.
and unguarded.
Yes, most beneficent
How
one.
much is it for one of those things? 100? Yes, it is. And if we're auto,
Ever vigilant. Onward to glory.
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
For the Emperor.
so these are the melter bombs that the assault marines can then be equipped with, which then means that the buildings
Yes, Lord.
can be blown up a hell of a lot easier.
Build routine 7 to 1 initiated.
Praise the Emperor.
Under fire.
My aim shall not falter.
Here to serve.
Right, let's start getting our economy
Build
off the
routine
ground.
7 to 1 initiated.
Today
We'll
the
get
enemy
him
shall
to
know
connect
fear.
to
Taking
these
command.
guys.
Knowledge
You
is
can
power. Hide it
come to
well.
these guys.
At your command.
Then, oh, what have we got? Oh, we've just got a knob leader. So that's built. We'll upgrade that.
Yes, Lord.
We'll try and get over here and build one up over here.
Build routine 7 to 1
Walk softly.
initiated.
And carry a big gun.
So that is, looks like it should be part of the path around here. It's not. In fact, the path goes all the way around here, and you have to come back around to this one. If it wasn't already obvious, I have played
My
this
aim
game
shall
a couple
not
of times
falter.
before. One of the handy things being though with these guys.
Activating jump under fire. Yes, my
Going
lord.
to take that.
Here to serve.
And of course, there has to be something
At your
like
command.
that happening.
The Emperor
That is
protects.
utterly garbage and very
My
annoying.
aim shall
I
not
await
falter.
your instructions. Build routine 7 to 1
On alert,
initiated.
brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
Oh, if there's anything more annoying than
Yes,
the AI
most
that decides
beneficent
to
one.
pick on me, I've yet to find it. That was an oversight on my part. Should have known that when it would end up happening.
Beware.
For the Emperor.
Heretic.
Under fire.
What would you
Let's
have
get
me
them to
do?
run back for now. Oh, we can't even do that. Oh, this map annoys me.
My aim shall not falter.
At your command. Activating jump
It's
back.
the first step on the road to disappointment. Knowledge is power.
Right, let's get
Hide
to
it
where these
well.
arseholes are obviously jumping over.
Charge.
If we can prevent that, we can make our head hurt just a little bit less.
Under fire.
Right, see, get some turrets.
Build routine 721 initiated.
Probably would be better off at home base, but hey ho.
My
This
faith
is what we
is
got
my
access
shield.
to.
Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
Ever the positive person.
The machine cult is ready to be requisitioned. Build it to gain access to vehicles.
That's the one I've been waiting for.
Praise the Emperor.
Get them some heavy bolters. Get some frag grenades on them.
Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
Let them come up, but get a sergeant for them.
Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
And maybe one day for them.
At once.
Yes, Lord.
Praise the Emperor. My aim shall not falter.
Venerate
Shall
the
let you
immortal
guys get
emperor.
up here once again.
Charge!
A means of denying them some. I mean, you can see up here we've got a slag deposit there, a point there, slag deposit there. Now slag deposits are
Fear not, Psycho.
greater energy outlets. So obviously we've got these plasma generators which give us a certain amount. So they give us plus 10 per second. I think it is. Plus 40, or it's plus 40 per 10 seconds. I can't remember exactly how it works out. But the slag deposits give you plus 25, I do believe. So if you've got 6 of these giving you plus 60, then you've got another plus 25, it adds up.
Venerate the immortal emperor.
Ever vigilant.
Can actually give you melter bombs.
Squad broken! Squad morale restored.
And then with that, we
Yes,
could
most
also
beneficent one.
build up that
Build
one.
routine 721 initiated.
Faith is
This
our
one.
shield.
My faith is my shield. My aim shall not falter.
I'm pretty sure there's a forward base down here, so we'll start wiping that out.
Faith is our shield. Destroy the armor. Activating jump
Just
pad.
jump and hit it with
Destroy
that,
the armor.
just like that.
Orders received.
Doesn't necessarily always go that well, but and they're a pain. Oh no, he died easy. Usually they're not so fun.
Carry a big gun.
Faith is our
They've
shield.
got theirs as well, so let's get over
For the
here.
Emperor.
Today the enemy shall know fear.
Not what I was going for. More of those. I'll get more of those. Another one of those.
Direct us to the enemy. Destroy the armor. Under fire.
Yes, Lord.
And we'll build another one over here.
Build routine 721 initiated.
While the enemies of
You
the
guys are a
Emperor
wee bit
still
closer
draw
in,
breath, there
so
can
there's
be
more
no
of you
peace.
actually shooting.
Ever vigilant.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be near us.
Heresy grows
jumping
from
out.
idleness.
Get your asses on here.
Broken. Faith is our shield.
Just lost him.
Heresy grows from idleness.
Yes, most beneficent one. Build routine 721 initiated.
Started down here.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
Fear denies faith.
We will establish a forward base at this location to facilitate ready access to Space Marines. We will need many to ensure the Warboss is dead and buried. Thermoplasma generators are available. They will provide us greater access to power. Brothers. The enemy must be nearby. On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
We are the Emperor's chosen. For the Emperor!
What is your will? As you wish.
Actually, what we could do is get you to build up
Build
that.
routine 721 initiated.
Get these guys over here. And hopefully soon enough this will be built up. Because once we start pushing, this is where we start to get the real resistance. So we're better to have a fair amount of bodies behind us instead of just 3 squads. Don't get me wrong, these 3 squads on the way the lore looks at them are more than enough to take on what's here. That's how mental the lore is. But this game's just a tiny bit more balanced. Just excuse me for a second, I'll get myself a drink. I do apologise, that must have been a hefty boring. Where are you? There you are, there. Oh, you're getting there. Right, let's see. Let's get some more. Start getting all this research. As well, getting as much of it as we can. Whilst we're waiting on boring stuff to. Well,
Yes,
actually, that's going to be done in a second anyway. With that, we'll be able to just go.
Build routine 721 initiated.
Like I said, this will give us a greater amount of energy, not that we're lacking, but the trade-off is your blue money usually goes towards your troops. As you can see, 90 there, 75 there, it's 150 to increase that. There's more blue for the building upgrades, things like that. Whereas a lot of your vehicles do end up costing more in the way of energy as opposed to requisition. Still is a cost in requisition, but it's less.
Yes, most beneficent one.
I'll get you to start. I don't understand why it keeps doing this.
Build routine
There we go.
721 initiated.
So you build that after that.
Here to serve.
So now it's done that. Sorry, it wasn't plus 25, it's plus 40. You can see just how much that's starting to shoot up now. Also, with another stronghold, what it does give us access to is you have 6 per stronghold. So that then means that we have got access to another 8 down here. So if we were to build a servitor down here, we could then build the other 8 around here, making our energy
What is your will? Your
problems
instructions.
basically obsolete. So we could go
Build
1,
routine 721 initiated.
3,
Build routine 721 initiated.
6.
Build routine 721 initiated. Build routine
None of you are
721
basically
And their long-range
initiated.
artillery are being made available. Build them from the machine cult.
So you can see there, 145 blue, but 380 energy, 350 energy for the dreadnought. Now the only thing about whirlwinds is that when you have a whole infantry platoon that has pushed forward, obviously their range is a lot longer, you end up catching your own troops, which then reduces the amount that they're shooting at, which then makes them less effective, which then it just basically gets annoying. So why disrupt everything for the sake of one tank ability, which is only really taking out infantry? Its whole point is to disrupt infantry, which is what these guys will do.
I did well.
Also get this.
Marine squad deployed. What is your order?
I'll get him. One of them. We'll start getting plasma guns, because we have a missile troop, which should take out most of the vehicles and buildings in theory. We've got heavy bolter troop, which should take out most of the heavy infantry. Them with plasma guns will take out many of the heavy infantry as well.
Marine squad deployed.
We'll get another one with rocket launchers.
At last, back to war.
Walk softly.
I have
You
awoken.
carry a big gun.
Command me.
So as you can see, some of them are greyed out in this bit. I don't know, I've never touched on it before because it obviously did it with the Space Marines. As you can see, it has requires Fortress Monastery HQ add-on. That is a further addition to this building, which puts it up to essentially Tech 2, I think is the equivalent, because technically you start at Tech 0, you would Tech up to Tech 1, that would take you up to Tech 2, or Tech 3, depending on how you want to start the scale.
Yes, most beneficent one.
So that would then give us access to that. It also gives us access to things that are in these two spaces. One of which is called a Sacred Relic, the other is a Orbital Relay.
Heresy grows. Faith is our shield.
You are getting done, you are getting done. Where's the other Space Marine squad that was meant to be getting built?
I am ready to serve again.
Did I only get 2? So I got 3. Okay, we can get another 3 squads technically.
It is better
Anyway,
to
as I
die
was saying,
for the Emperor than live for yourself.
as you can see, we can only get this, an assault cannon, which, considering what we're fighting against, isn't too bad. This last cannon would have been better, because obviously we will be fighting some vehicles and we'll be trying to blow up some buildings. That would make that a lot easier, but
Back to war.
again, because of the way these missions work out, we're limited in what we can get and what we can do, so we will deal with what we have. What we can do
It is
is
better to die for the
start
Emperor than
moving
live
up.
for yourself. Marine squad deployed.
You can see obviously these plasma guns will just mulch through
Command me.
the troops, which is their idea, considering that a plasma gun is essentially a condensed sun. So it stands to reason it should mulch through just about anything.
Faith is our shield. Marine squad deployed. At your command. Charge.
Basically fill that out. You can get a vehicle cap. Well, that one's kind of useless because we're at 20. So like, it's obviously we're limited to 7 just now. You can upgrade the cap.
Under fire.
And there we see Walker on Walker action.
Stand ready.
Now, if you really want to get into how dark the setting is for the Warhammer 40k universe, so the walkers that you've seen there that were destroyed, those have got little grots in them. So it sounds like orcs, and technically speaking in this it will be orcs, because that's how the voice acting went. However, it is in the lore, it is grots that are in them. Orcs are in bigger things called death dreads. It's neither here nor there. So these walkers are called dreadnoughts. Now, what happens with a dreadnought, it's not a space marine in it in the sense you may be thinking. It is in fact a space marine who has been grievously wounded but is still alive. Now, these guys can take some serious punishment before they're even considered close to death. However, they can take some grievous wounding and then they're unable to fight as a regular fighting unit. So what ends up happening is they get interred in a sarcophagus. This is the sarcophagus of a dreadnought. So inside him is one of these guys, barely kept alive, and he still continues to fight. Just to give you an idea of how dark and grimdark this setting can be and can get.
I am ready to serve again.
So let's get moving on to the next one.
Here to serve. Build routine 721 initiated.
Under fire. Faith is eternal. I shall end you. What is your order? I have awoken.
So yeah, if you're uninitiated to this, the whole setting for this is quite literally called grimdark. Take that how you will, it's exactly how it sounds.
Here
Right,
to
well,
serve.
you've done your duty, you can get lost. Which then frees up space for another squad.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
Faith is eternal. For the Emperor.
Right.
Command
You'll see now it's a bit more in the lines of methodical. Basically move to the next requisition point, take it, deny it to them.
Yes, most beneficent one.
It's a very, very basic system I've got, but yeah, it
Look
works.
at that monstrosity. I have heard
Oh,
legends
yes.
of such beasts, but I've never seen one. Men, concentrate your fire. We must take this creature down. While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace.
Squigoth, the biggest thing in the Orc's arsenal,
What is your order?
technically.
We are the Emperor's chosen.
So, orcs are quite a funny race. The way that they are made, the way that they reproduce, they don't reproduce like any other race. They're actually, I think it's the term mycetic, where it's spores. So, in an orc's lifetime, they constantly, it's almost like they sweat spores,
Praise the Emperor.
which then get infested into the planet, and then when an orc dies, obviously there's a massive explosion of these spores as well, kind of like pollen. So when this happens, it then means that there
This day
is
shall be a glorious
these spores
one for
that
the
take
Imperium.
and then
Walk
ferment.
softly.
What ends up coming out from these spores is entirely up to chance. So you've got three possibilities. So you've got a thing called a squig, you've got a thing called a grot, and then you've got your orcs. Grots are essentially what you would consider goblins in fantasy. Squigs are what you would consider, I don't know, maybe vermin. Because squigs is also what orcs eat. That's part of their diet, is eating squigs.
It is better to die for the Emperor than live
So,
for yourself.
it can be any of those three things. Sorry, I got a bit distracted there. The Squigoth that you've seen there is the largest that the Squig family can end up becoming. The largest that the Orcs can end up becoming is him, a Warboss. He's basically the biggest and baddest Orc around, so he becomes the Warboss.
I have awoken. Command me.
My will is undone.
Squad morale restored.
Rally
Let's
squad.
rally you. Let's rally
Rally
you.
squad.
I am the instrument of his will.
Squad broken.
It is better to die for the Emperor than live for yourself.
Squad broken.
Faith is eternal.
Rally
Rally.
squad.
Rally.
Rally squad.
Rally. Basically get your morale back up. Back to fighting fitness again.
I stand ready.
Charge!
Fear not the Psyker. Venerate the immortal Emperor.
And we've
Faith
got
is eternal.
another. And let's get this lot up. Basically, by the time they get up there, it'll be a matter of walking in and finishing everything up, wrapping the whole thing up.
Command me.
Of course not. There we go.
At last.
Once you get to this kind of point, you can kind of usually
I shall
gauge
end.
how it's going to go, and the fact that we're not really meeting the resistance they need to stop us entirely
Under fire.
means that we could just basically roll over them. And I mean, he's got to go and batter the hell with us anyway.
Under fire.
Knowledge is power. Hide it well.
And that's one of the annoying things that you can think happens too. They just seem to run in and then go, oh, hold on, that's a terrible idea.
Command me.
My powers are yours to command.
Charge.
It's not so bad that the commander comes right back, but at the same time it's still a pain.
Hope is the first
See?
step on the road to disappointment.
Now he has to run all the way back up here.
Charge!
It is better to die for the Emperor than live for yourself. Squad broken.
And with a broken squad, what do we
are
do?
the Emperor's.
Boom.
Squad morale restored.
And here you can see the difference in the orc settlement. So they technically only have one upgrade, but their tech tree is vastly different from the one that we have.
Fire. Faith is under fire.
Yes, Lord?
Those were what you would call, they're called Gretchen, basically grots. Gretchen's just another name for them. It looks like we're going to have to go down and
I am
mop
the
up every
instrument
little
of
bit.
his will.
So we'll be going over there.
Charge. Squad broken. It is better to die for the Emperor than live for yourself.
So as you can see,
Morale restored.
it's one of those, you have to destroy every building.
Command me. Command me.
Right, and then we'll get going down there,
Charge.
and that should wrap up the rest of it.
At last, back to war. I shall end you. order.
And
Charge!
pop.
Faith is eternal. Even in death I still serve.
And then let's roll on over this way. If only half the button would work.
Charge! Under fire!
Can't think that there's anything else left. We've got to. I bet you there's some stuff in that this wee crevice. Can almost guarantee it. It's one of the things that can be quite annoying at times. It's just it only takes a wee crevice like this for there to be something hidden in it, and that prevents you from being able to just finish it already.
With me, brothers.
See?
Under fire!
That's all it takes. Just a couple of buildings that you can't see just quite right.
I am ready to serve. Again.
What did I tell you? That was all it was going to take.
Brother Tantheus.
Burned beyond recovery of his gene seed, along with Brother Michaelis. Nothing was left of them save for ash. They burned from the inside out.
Anything else to report?
The Orc Warboss has been destroyed, but we saw a dropship leave the area. Captain, she bore the 8-pointed star.
The mark of the ruinous powers of chaos.
The forces of chaos? Here? Now?
Tartarus has endured several Black Crusades led by the terrible Chaos Champions. However, it seems too convenient that orcs and these heretics are here at the same time. But I trust the eyes of our scouts. Isidore, do you sense anything?
No, I have sensed nothing. But if the nature of Brother Tantheus' demise is any indication, then they would have a sorcerer with them who would be capable of masking their presence. Especially with all the background static caused by the orcs.
Ah, our honored guest has arrived.
Who is it?
Inquisitor Mordecai Toth, protector of the Emperor's divine word and will.
Is he here to take command?
An Inquisitor may have near unlimited power. Yes, he can commission the service of any Imperial citizen, from peasant to planetary governor, but...
I shall not cede command of my Space Marines to him, Inquisitor or not.
Then why is he here? Does he suspect one of us of heresy?
He is an Inquisitor. They suspect everyone of heresy. If chaos taints this world, then that explains his presence. We must share with him what we discovered. Inquisitor Toth, welcome to Tartarus.
Thank you, Captain. But we have little time for courtesies. You and your men must leave Tartarus. Now.
Well, thank you for sticking with me through this mission as well. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope my little commentary has been a bit more insightful this time. Hopefully we'll see you in the following videos, and without further ado, have a good one. Bye bye.